What up, everyone? I'm Jack Slater, aka the Comic Outlaw, and yeah, I'm back and better than ever. Hell yeah. And we're doing Hellboy, Seed of Destruction, Issue 3. Yes. And now we find out the reason that Hellboy was brought into this world, his origin, and the origin of the man who brought him into this world, Rasputin. As Hellboy falls deep, and not only falling physically but mentally, wondering what's going on, feeling a strange connection to this man, this void deep inside of him as he hears him calling out. He introduces himself and says that he has a greater purpose and that he will obey this purpose. For he is the gatekeeper. He is the one that Rasputin has been waiting decades for. He will open the door. And yet Hellboy, defiant as ever, pulls out his weapon, the Good Samaritan, and blows his head off. Yes! As pieces of him fly everywhere, and he's still standing. And to Hellboy's surprise, he heals himself, saying a weird incantation, a phrase, and Hellboy goes flying off, and all the charms, all the different tokens that he keeps in his pocket, to whirl off evil spirits, to talk to spirits, everything is useless at this point. Somehow he's shut everything down. This man, this creature is more powerful than anything he's ever come across. In the 40 years that he's been part of this paranormal investigation agency, as he appears behind him, he has no idea the power that stands before him. As one of the frog people come out of nowhere, and this is where Rasputin reveals that they're just servants, the people that found him in the first issue. And now stripped of all their humanity, and all that's left is the creature, the demon inside. As Abe investigates, trying to find the origin of these creatures and why. Why is this family cursed? As in the previous issues, go back and read them if you don't know what I'm talking about. Certain creatures pine over the loss of their mother, who was killed by Rasputin, in his own way of granting mercy. For the sons are gone, or are they? Echoes still stir among them as they hold her corpse, cradling it as they dive deep into the abyss. As Abe tries to figure out what's going on, he pushes against a door, so rotten, even his gentle touch pushes the wood away. And he finds the father. And what's going on? Why is he there? We'll find out soon enough, won't we? As Hellboy battles this creature. Stronger, meaner, more savage. Hellboy has to let everything out. He has to get angry. And sometimes that gives him a boost, an edge. But not this time. Rasputin will not be denied, and neither will this supercharged creature as he hits Hellboy, backhanding him back. Further back, deeper into the cave, not giving him a moment to think, not giving him a moment to strategize, figure out what's going on, not being able to figure out why, who this man is and what he just told him. His real purpose on this world. Or is it? As the creature beats down upon him again and again, slamming him through wall after wall, savagely beating him into the dirt, the walls, the concrete, as Hellboy can taste his own blood. And now Rasputin reveals his origin, that he's been hunting for these creatures, the apocalypse beings, for years. Still hearing nothing. Slight whisper until he meets a man who worked with Adolf Hitler, the Nazis, a small man doomed. They form an alliance, and with some of the more reasonable fascists, they form the Project Ragnarok. And through this, they plan to bring a destruction and order upon the world. And the machine goes off. And yet they were being invaded at the time, and all the confusion, Hellboy was lost to them and brought to his so-called father. And yet a voice called out to him, telling him to go deep into the frozen. And where explorers came to find him, he fed off them. And then he found the temple of one of his gods and kneeled before him, meditating, waiting for the right opportunity, waiting for his master to call out to him. And then he did, and these explorers came for him. And that's when he released the plague, changing them, molding them into the frog creatures you see before you. They are his slaves to do his bidding. And now it is time to find the so-called Hellboy in New York. And he has one more ace to play, for he has taken over the mind of Liz. Yes, Hellboy's main squeeze. She's being manipulated, and she is raw power, raw energy, an elemental all to herself. And Rasputin plans on using her energy as one of the gods begin to arise, feeding off the power of the ancient lake, the temple, as he begins to mold and change. He will use her energy to bring forth a portal, to open the void. And he gives Hellboy a chance to join him willingly and be the key, or be forced into it, forced into his destiny. Hellboy tells him to go to hell, and Rasputin says, no, it is hell that is coming here. As he begins to warp the energy around him, and he wonders where Abe is. And Abe is fallen at the feet of this man, or is he a creature twisted by Rasputin? Is there anything left in him? Is there any hope for humanity? Can Hellboy find his way out? We'll find out the next time, won't we? And I'll catch you on the flip side.